this is where we wanted to be and where we expected to be, in all honesty, and I say that in a humble way, just because of the way we worked this offseason, the way we prepared. And, we got great coaching staff, great leadership. Even the guys on the scout team are doing an unbelievable job of giving us great looks week in and week out that allowing us to execute at such a high level on Saturday. So we understand there's a lot of football left to be playing. We know it as well as anybody that anything can happen in this sport, and we're not going to take anything for granted.
What are your thoughts on the two Bens on the left side of the line last week and how they played?
Pretty good. We haven't really, watched the film as a team yet and everything, but Ben is doing a great job. Both Bens are doing a great job, and to have a freshman come in and be able to play and contribute and help the team the way he has been, that's awesome.
The last play, you obviously almost got there in time. Can you walk us through that play, where you were, and when you started sprinting to that corner?
Yeah, I was in on the punt. Took my normal set. Saw some guys rushing, tried to block my man, and I didn't hear a punt go off, so I just turned around and started running, and it just comes back. They executed on that play, and that's football. Easily could have been us in the other position. We've seen it. That's a great thing about football is that anything can happen. The game's never over, and that's credit to them for executing. But at the same time, we're not caught up in that game. We're not hanging our heads about it or anything. If anything, it'll motivate us a little bit more this week. But at the same time, I really feel like we're not going to be doing anything different this week. We've approached every game the same as if it was a championship game, and that's a great thing for us because we're not going to have to change anything that we've been doing. We're just going to continue to prepare the same way we have and continue to try to execute the same way we have on Saturdays.
Did that one sting more than any loss you've had in any game, just because you were 10 seconds away from winning it?
Yeah, there's no such thing as an easy loss or a good loss, that's for sure. But that's a tough loss, especially because it's a rivalry game and losing like that. But Coach Harbaugh said it best. It didn't break our backs. It wasn't heartbreaking. It didn't ruin our season. And if you look at the football we've been playing since that game, we've been playing at a very high level. So. It may have been a good thing in a certain extent. To a certain extent.
When did he say that to you guys?
I'm sorry.
When did he say that to you guys?
After the game, he said we're going to put steel on our spine, and this isn't going to affect our. We're not going to let one loss turn into two or two turn into three. We're just going to put steel on our spine and make somebody pay for this loss. And, down the stretch, we've done a good job of. Coming through with that.
Is that like last question. The Sunday meeting after? He didn't say that right in the locker room, did he? Or did he say that in the locker room?
He said we're going to put steel on our spine right after the locker room.
In the locker room?
In the locker room. This isn't a heartbreaking loss. I think we were all in shock a little bit about how that happened and how that played out. But, we're very lucky to have the coaching staff that we do, to have the leadership that we do, that, we all kind of came together a little bit from that loss.
Have you guys heard from Blake O'Neill this year? And he certainly doesn't seem to have let that play define who he is, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. Some guys stay in touch. I've, texted him a few times, and he's been a part of our team, here and there. We've working with different departments in our program, but Blake's an unbelievable guy, and the way he handled that, and it's not. It wasn't Blake's loss, it was our loss. It wasn't one punt that lost the game, and I know it's a cliche answer, but it really wasn't. There was plenty of plays last year, but again, I don't want to talk too much about last year's game. It really doesn't matter. It's not something that, we're still talking about or anything that we're going to get caught up in. We're just worried about winning, or not worried about winning. Our focus is on winning this Saturday.
As a leader, do you mention the Penn State beat Ohio State, a game no one thought they'd win, as a way to keep guys focused on Michigan State when they're struggling so much?
Maybe you might think about that. It's good for us. We moved up in the rankings a little bit, but again, that goes back. We understand it's college football. Things like this are going to happen. And it's football in general. It's anybody can win on any given Saturday, and that's why we can't take any opponent lightly. And I think we've done a great job this season of preparing the same way for every single game, and we understand how much is on the line each Saturday and what this team is capable of. So we're not taking anything for granted. We're going to continue to prepare how we've been preparing.
Jake, your first couple of years, there was an extra emphasis put on this game. This was one of those circle games, and the week was treated differently and everything. How did that? What did you think? You were from Ohio, so obviously you knew about that game. But how long did it take you to kind of adjust that this was a big deal?
Well, I don't think it's not something that I had to adjust to. I knew this was going to be a big game, and it it always has been and always will be for a very long time, or as long as this rivalry goes on. It's going to be a big game, and there's going to be, like a hatred rivalry between these two teams. But it's not something that I had to adjust to, and whatever we did the first 2 years, that's how it was. This year, we're just going to continue to prepare. I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but we're going to continue to prepare how we've been preparing, and we're not going to change anything that we've been doing. It's been working for us, and we're going to continue to prepare like that the rest of the season.
What
Jake,
makes you
Coach said
confident?
on Saturday he thought that was Wilton's best game. Do you agree with that? And where do you see him? How's he been getting better as the season goes
Yeah.
on?
Oh, yeah. I think Wilton did a tremendous job of executing, putting our team in position to win. I mean, we were moving the ball successfully, and Wilton did a great job. He took a couple shots even, but kept bouncing back up, getting our guys in the right position, getting lined up, making sure the kills were right and everything. And then, for us to execute, that it all starts with the quarterback. So credit to Wilton.
This will
How would you
be
assess his performance so far this season? And the big thing I would imagine is only the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I think he's been doing a great job, and the big thing for him is he's been getting better every single week, and we're going to need him to continue to get better every single week down the stretch too. So knowing Wilton and the way he's been preparing and practicing, that's going to happen. I feel confident that he's going to continue to do that.